Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the zoo. The minions with me this evening are Tyr.
What up?
And Adam.
Hello.
And as it is once again a Friday, and it's not the first Friday of the month, I am the keeper for this evening, Sanguine. How are both of you doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
That's good to hear. How about yourself, Adam?
I'm doing good.
That's good to hear as well. And I am doing brilliantly. I just am finishing up the very last of a unbelievably delicious dinner, which was
I'll be round later for my plate. Don't just leave it on the counter. Or
Yeah,
you know what? Leave it at the door.
That works. So I did a chicken 4-quarter. So you guys all know what hindquarters are. 4-quarters is breast and wing.
Mm-hmm.
So chicken 4-quarter, skin on, skin got nice and crispy. Hit the skin with a good bit of salt, including a thyme salt. And then flip that sumbitch over and seasoned up the bottom with a mixture of a couple different spices and some salt. Let that seep into the meat. Let the skin have the moisture that is in the skin get pulled out by the salt. Patted it dry, reapplied salt for the actual cooking. Then threw that skin side down in a pan. Let that get nice and crispy. Using a weight to press the wing down so that the wing got good contact with the pan. Flip that bastard over, let it cook on the other side, kept on flipping it around just to make sure that it was cooked all the way through and all the sides got browned up nicely. Serve that up with spaghetti with one of the most brilliantly emerald green pestos that I have ever made. I took about a cubic foot of pesto leaves and I blitzed them together with olive oil and some confit garlic that I made, some toasted pine nuts, until it was cubic foot reduced to about 2 inches in the bottom of a, one of those drink blenders like the Magic Bullet and that sort of shape? It was about 2 inches in the bottom of one of those. So just an almost obscene amount of basil rendered down into that. Insanely just... It is Hulk green pesto.
Okay.
It is absolutely beautiful, and the flavor of that, oh my fucking god, it is amazing.
I am fighting every fiber in my body to have not made a what time did the chicken joke come in, and there's Sherlock Holmes with the basil.
Yep, basil.
I was surprised that you weren't going for a basil expedition.
I wanted to, but trying to keep it classy.
Fair enough. But yeah, other than that, I have had an absolutely fantastic night, nice and relaxing, and just absolutely just running all the meat that I'm going to have for the week through the internet in order to make sure that it is perfectly dry brined at the very end. Because, oh good God, the amount of salt after the election.
I'm losing money. Saying, why you keep reminding me of how much money I'm losing? I need to invest in tampons and Kleenex.
It's all salt down here. The walls are salt. The floor is salt. The ceiling is salt. And if you are a bit broad with your definition, the air is salt. You can taste it on your tongue.
These salty bastards.
It is absolutely insane the amount that people have absolutely shit the bed.
Yep.
From him winning. And not only winning, but the sheer rage at the fact that he also won the popular vote.
Because now
Popular
they
vote.
can't.
And they hold the Senate, and I believe they have a good footing in the House too.
Yeah, I think it's.
I mean-
I think it's a majority in all three. All
They're
three. if I'm not
currently
mistaken.
6 away from winning the House, and in almost every single county still counting, it is Republican lead.
Is Democrats 46 to 52 Republicans in the Senate, and currently the House they have a majority. They have the Democrats have 208, the Republicans have 216.
Which side are you using? Because I do know that AP has been lagging, and I pulled up the AP.
I pulled up 270 to win.
Yep, they have been leading the entire time. They called Pennsylvania like a good 6 hours before the AP did.
Yeah. The one thing I love about this 270 to win is you get the real time, and they were shading in Pennsylvania, and then when it closed, like, yeah, it's his.
Mm-hmm.
And then every other domino started falling, and yeah.
And then Red Kingdom.
And the entire time I'm looking at this, I'm like, Lady Liberty had her 4-year visitor, and she's flushed out all the commies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the AP still has it as questionable for all of Arizona's, well, or most of Arizona's.
Let me see
House
the final
votes.
total. Really quickly, I need to see the final total of election votes. Presidential. Are they going to give me it? Let me see. President. Nope, they don't give me the final count.
But the AP has been lagging the entire time, and it has led to a lot of people commenting on by how much they are lagging everything.
Yeah, because they really didn't want to call it because
Yep.
it looked bad. It looked terrible. It looked like a fucking nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, it was the end of the world scenario for them.
Mm-hmm.
There was no fucking way they were coming out this unfucking scathed. No fucking way.
I was talking about this before stream with you, but Adam, have you seen all the various lefty streamers shitting the
really
bed?
Quickly. Hold on.
Okay.
Sanguine. The vote total. Mind you, AP, I went to 270 on Bing to do it. They still haven't called Florida. Sorry, not Florida, Arizona and Nevada, even though it's been decided. Trump has 75 million votes.
Mm-hmm.
Harris only has 70 million.
Yeah, I'm going to find it absolutely hilarious as the numbers approach 100% vote or 100% of the reporting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to find it hilarious if somehow he gets an additional 8 mil.
Yeah.
Because currently, Trump is the second and third most voted for presidential candidate in history.
Really? Second and third?
Second and third. Because he was the second in 2020.
Okay.
Or actually, I think he's surpassed. Let me quickly pull up the most voted presidential candidate. Okay. So, list of U.S. presidential candidates by the numbers. So, it is... Oh, they have just now switched because it was originally Trump was second due to 2020, and then third due to 2024. But
Mhm.
as the numbers continue to increase, Trump has crept up to second for 2024, third for 2020. It is
Okay.
still Biden at 81.3 million for 2020.
Okay.
Then Biden 74.2 and 74.2. So if he gets that extra 8 somehow, it would be hilarious because then it would be first and third.
Sit and stew, you lefty bitches.
Yep. Which means that he also appears 3 times in the top 10, I think it is.
Again, sit and stew, you lefty bitches.
Yeah, he occurs 3 times in the top 10, which is fucking hilarious. Also, interestingly, if you look at the top 10, it is a even split between the parties.
Oh.
It is 5 Democrats, 5 Republicans.
I wanna say something. People come. Oh, you don't want to see a female be president? Well, no, I don't for 2 reasons. We have a lot of let's call them Middle Eastern friends who view women as a weakness, and they don't take too kindly to female leaders.
See, I have no problem with the idea of a female president. I just want her to be a competent female president. I want her to be a female president that she got the job by being the best candidate, not got the job by forcing out the previous president.
Or blowing
after it was too late to run a
real candidate. Yeah. Honestly, this is my thoughts. The reason, like people said, I believe the reason why they didn't, the first debate, they called it fair. It wasn't against Trump. It was really to take him down because now you don't have the primary to worry about. Like, that's why they allowed that fucking, that debate.
Oh, I still find it absolutely hilarious when I think it was NBC said the quiet part out loud.
I like the quiet pout.
Yes, the quiet pout. But yeah, they said the quiet part out loud when on one of their daytime shows.
Mm-hmm.
One of the people said that the media has been favoring the Republicans, and they were favoring the Republicans by fact-checking both sides. And if you fact-check both sides, that favors Republicans. So what the media really needs to do is, in order to be more fair, they should forbid fact-checking Democrats.
So in other words, when it comes down to understanding how shit goes, we can't stand up to the concept, you know. We need to lie.
Yep. We need to lie, and if it is fact-checked, that makes us look bad.
Of fucking course.
But they said that live on air, and they weren't challenged by the other people live on air.
They've been saying that shit for a while, dude. I mean, just recently too on The View, they were like, if only we were able to moderate social media,
yep,
we would have been able to win. And it's like, yeah, no.
But it's slightly different with that, Adam, because that's them saying, well, if we were able to control the narrative by making it so that you can't say things, then we would have won. This is them saying that if people are fact-checking both sides, because the way that they normally spin we should have control over social media is there's a lot of lies. There's a lot of things that just aren't true on social media, and it's those lies that are the issue. We're fine with the truth. It's just those lies that are the issue. But that time, it was him saying, we shouldn't fact-check Democrats, because if we fact-check both sides, when they say something wrong, it benefits the Republicans, which is taking it a step beyond just, we need to control the narrative.
It kind of works hand in hand because
it does.
If they had control of all of the conversation, they wouldn't even have to be mentioning social media. But the reason they're doing that now is because they're realizing that they don't have that type of control over the masses in terms of what information is being brought out there. So
that's why Elon was such a fucking threat.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that, like I said, they've been saying the thing about, we need to manage social media. We need to curate social media in order to make sure that only truthful things are able to be said on social media. And that is insidious and fucked up in and of itself. But like I said, them saying, we shouldn't fact-check Democrats because if we fact-check both Republicans and Democrats, it makes Republicans look better.
Taking
it that step further and making it even more, oh my god, you weren't supposed to say that out loud.
Sanguine, I got a question. Do you remember it's a old Twilight Zone episode called The Obsolete Man?
Potentially, I'm terrible with names of episodes.
The main character was Rodney Wordsworth, and he was a librarian, and essentially is that
I had time now?
Huh?
I had time now?
No, that's not him. That's that's the first original. All right, so Rodney Wordsworth was a librarian, and the state had declared him obsolete because the state decides what information needs to be doled out, and there's no need for books anymore. So they decide to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, you can't kill, you can't stifle ideas with legislation. You can't essentially it was about getting rid of God, essentially. But the premise, I bring this up because it is the same concept. Oh, well, we decide what's true and what's wrong and what's not,
Mm-hmm.
We're the guardians of information. So what we say is the truth.
See, the thing that I find hilarious is that there's a rather good bit of a show that was extremely popular with a lot of people in a book series that's extremely popular with a lot of people. Game of Thrones. The Song of Ice and Fire. Which people will quote ad nauseum. But they always overlook certain lines that should be quoted ad nauseum to me.
When you cut a man's tongue out, you don't tell people he's wrong. You tell him you're afraid of what he has to say.
Yep.
And that's what it is. Like you cut a man's tongue out. You're not telling people he's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're just saying he has something to say and you don't want him to say it, and that's what it is. And that's always going to be what it is. The government in general requires ignorance and stupidity to do most of their things. If we knew
dishonest government required.
at least dishonest government, requires that. If the only way you believe you can win is by lying, then clearly you're wrong.
Yeah.
If you have to if Kamala was more honest about Biden's condition when he first started showing mental decline, and she ran on, hey, yes, I pointed it out. I said he was wrong. I said he was mentally deficient. It would show a level of honesty which would make her a viable contender.
Yep. If it had been her throughout the entire thing saying, Joe shouldn't be running. He should be stepping aside. And yes, people are concerned about his mental acuity, and I'm concerned about it as well. She would have been crucified by her party,
but she would have been honest, and that would have been made her a contender. She'd have had a viability because at least she's honest, even though it was disadvantageous.
When he was forced to step down, then she was named in his stead. It would have been, well, she was trying to get him to step down the entire goddamn time. So it wasn't, she waited until it was politically beneficial for her to say that he needed to step down. No, it was, she was trying to get him to step down. He was refusing. Then he dragged it out to the point where they couldn't have a proper primary. And after he dragged it out, they named her because, fuck it, they don't have time for a primary. Who else are they going to name? Pick the person that's vice president right now. She would have become president if they had 25th him. So that works. And that would have made her more popular than she was. Because as it was, it came across as, oh, so you were perfectly fine lying to the American people and then slitting the person that you're publicly saying is a friend of yours neck. We all knew you were lying when you said that he was a friend of yours because during your primary against him, you called him a racist.
It was a debate. It was again, this is
you
what she should have done.
You don't just call your opponent a racist in debate. That isn't how you do it. If you think that they're legitimately a racist, okay, call them a racist. If you don't think that they're legitimately a racist, that is such a fucked thing to accuse someone of, you just don't.
Yes. And again, she could have built she could have said, all right, yes, I called him a racist in the debate. Honestly, because I didn't mean it to say like he is one now. But that situation, those events, that was kind of fucking racist.
Yeah. When he said I don't want my children growing up in a racial jungle, that was pretty fucking racist. So at that moment, he was being racist. Now, do I think that he's still a racist? I should have been more clear. And I should have said, well, he's not currently a racist. He is at best a reformed racist.
Yeah. Or maybe his past actions and his deeds and actions in the past give credence to the fact that he may have been a racist, but I've worked with him and I know him better now.
Yeah. And this is one thing that also drove me crazy because I saw people getting pissed off that Trump has, on certain positions, shifted from time to time. And they're going, I remember when Kerry was changing positions and he was called a windsock. He was called a flip-flopper. And I realize that people don't realize that there's a right way and a wrong way to change your position. The wrong way is to just change it and then act like it has never changed. That's one of the wrong ways. Another wrong way is to change it and never explain why you changed it.
Yes.
Just say, well, I've changed. Because if you're telling me that, well, I've changed, that tells me that you're lying.
Yeah.
That's all you said. It's like Boogie. Boogie with his...
Yeah.
Well, I did that in the past, and I've changed. I've tried to make amends. Well, okay. You're just saying things that you think will get people off your back.
You're just telling us what you want to hear.
You're telling us what you think we want to hear. Exactly. Whereas, if it's someone that has actually changed, a good chunk of the time what you'll have is yeah, I used to believe this. This is why I believed it. And if I still had that information, and only that information, I would still believe it to this day.
Yeah, they'd be able to articulate why they changed their position.
Yep. And then the most important part would be, but then this thing happened to me, or I got this bit of information, and I realized I was wrong. So I've changed my opinion because of that, and here's the entire explanation of how that caused me to come to this realization. Because if you've actually changed your mind, if you've actually changed your position, you realize that there are people that still believe like you used to.
And you need to bring them to the light, in a sense.
Yeah, and you want to get them to see the thing that you saw so that they understand you and they can make the same change that you did. If you were a devout Christian and you went, well, I started realizing inconsistencies, and these are the inconsistencies that I noticed, and I noticed them because I decided it was strange as a Christian that I had never read the Bible cover to cover. So I started reading the Bible, and as I started reading the Bible, I started noticing issues. And I started asking people about those issues, and they would give explanations that they sounded good until you gave them a little bit of thought, and then I started realizing that they weren't really good explanations, or they told me that I shouldn't be asking those types of questions, and it reached a point where I just couldn't say that I believed anymore. So I stopped saying that I believed.
Hold on. Fire Bastard. You're all gay except for the people in the chat. What game is that tier, Lesbian Island? No, it's called Sengoku Dynasty. Mitch goes, sorry I'm late. I was in the early stages of shitting myself, and though it's best to address these situations before the paperwork becomes overwhelming. The beauty of free speech is that it allows tyrants to out themselves. If they save us the effort of investigating them, most of those promoting forgiveness and healing are begging to be let off the hook for transgressions they knew were wrong, but for which they feel no actual guilt or shame.
Yep.
They are the right essence of indecency. Agreed.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, if you actually change your mind, you will be able to articulate what made you change your mind. And it will be, you have the people that went from being religious to not being religious, and you have the opposite. You have some people that were not religious, and then they had some sort of revelation. And the people that actually had some sort of revelation, they will be able to articulate.
I can give you an example of myself. I can give you a perfect example of myself. I have gone from being pro-choice in a sense to staunchly pro-life, and I can tell you why. Mitch Nemo used the argument that the sins of the father should never be visited upon the child. You're right. In a rape situation, the child did nothing wrong, and it's unfair of us to kill a life without due process of law. It makes sense. And the more I thought on it, the more, I kind of am staunchly pro-life now. Because it's an American citizen that's being unjustly murdered because there's no advocate speaking for it. And it needs an advocate. You know? It makes sense. Stance changed.
Yeah.
You know? Kamal couldn't even give you that shit.
I've always... Oh, go ahead, Adam.
I'm on two things with this. It's one, a lot of these people are saying this shit because it's a, oh shit, we were caught type of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the refusal to accept responsibility for their actions or their words. But the other thing is, I also don't think that a lot of these people would ever come to the conclusion that they were in the wrong, and they would just continue to I don't want to say abuse the power, because I don't necessarily think that they had it that much, like unless you played along with them. But that sense of power that they had, I don't think they would have ever given that up.
I don't think they would ever give that up either.
See, for me, again, there's a right way, there's a wrong way. There's a way that is actually you change your opinion and you're trying to explain why you changed your opinion and get those to agree with you. And then there's, I didn't change my opinion, but this is the politically expedient thing that I need to say now.
I'm saying this because I want to get elected. And it sounds... fracking. Perfect example. Fracking. You said you were against fracking. Well, yeah. Okay. Are you still against fracking? I'm for fracking now. What made you change your mind about fracking?
Yep.
Yeah, I changed my mind about fracking. What made you change your mind? What led you to these conclusions that fracking was a net good instead of a net bad?
Yep.
Fracking.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm perfectly fine with someone that says, now, I wouldn't say that I was wrong for believing what I did based on the information that I had at that time, but I've received new information since then that makes me realize that I'm wrong. So if I was still left with that level of knowledge, I would still have the same position that I had then. It's somewhat of a useless thing to say, because that should be assumed regardless of what you're talking about, that if you didn't get the information that made you change your mind, you would still have that position. But I can understand people that say that as a means of saying, the people that believe this because they don't have the information that I have aren't bad people. They're just people with incomplete information that, due to where they are and how everything is around them, they believe they have the complete information. So they don't know that they should be looking for this information.
They lack the facts needed to make a complete decision. They have only a quarter of the picture, while, me being able to read the studies and look over literature and talk to the various frackers, I've come to understand it.
Therein lies another aspect of this argument, because now we go into what would be the is this person willing to go and seek out that different information to see if they are wrong? This is like they're talking about it, but I watched a recent Jubilee with Destiny, and there was a question that was brought up, and he was asked, like, okay, well, what law was that? And he's like, well, I don't know the exact law, and I can't really. And it's like, well, then why should I argue with you? Like, it gets to that point where it's you're not even making arguments for the sake of pushing information or giving out your.
You're just arguing to argue.
You're arguing just to win.
Yeah, you're arguing to get the internet pats on the back.
Well, even not just internet pats. I mean, even it could be, Thanksgiving dinner, and you're arguing with somebody on the opposite end of the table. And you just don't want to be wrong.
Think of all the shit that we say. That people have been saying about, oh God, Trump's gonna put all black people in chains, and it's gonna be the Republic of Gilead for women. They're gonna take away all the rights. Everybody's rights. He's gonna deport all Latinos, all Mexicans, all Spanish. He's just gonna deport anyone not white. And I'm listening to this shit, and at some point, you have to realize that all this shit is fucking insane.
Hold on. I will say, if they're gonna, because I did see a lot of people all of a sudden, Latinos and Hispanics are bad people because Kamala didn't win.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for the Democrats to now be full bore on we need to deport.
No, they are. They're saying they're
already doing it.
Twitter post saying, I hope they deport you and your whole family and blah blah.
Shit.
I'm sitting there like, I hope. I kind of do, because my ancestors they came from Texas,
Yep.
So you want to set me up in Texas? That's cool.
But see, the problem is this is the mindset though. Think about it. All right, these people, this particular group always collectivizes the demographic, and then all black people are victims and whatnot. So all like there's no Latinos who are American citizens that belong here because they were born here and their parents were born here and were citizens, or maybe fifth generation immigrants who legitimately came to America through legal means and have every right to be here.
Or shit. First
thanks for adding
generation
that.
Americans that came through the right channels and they came here because
And they have every right.
wanted to be Americans.
Yeah.
That's the key part to me. If you want to be an American and you do it through the proper channels,
come right in.
Welcome aboard. You're a new American.
Versus the motherfucker that you don't say. I know I make this joke to you every time we stream together. I say, wherever you're eating, I'll come through the back door and grab it. If you want something, a friend doesn't come through the back door. He walks in the front.
Mm-hmm.
You don't sneak in like a thief in the night. You come through the front door. You show, hey, Sanguine, hey, it's me. How you doing? Come in.
You say that no friend comes in through the back door. It depends on the type of friendship.
You know what
they're into.
Well, no, I mean, come on, like, and Clarissa Explains It All. What was that kid's name who just put a ladder?
Yeah.
Her friend.
But you know what I'm trying to say.
No, I get what you're saying, but I also get what Sanguine's saying with his backdoor joke.
Yep.
But you don't sneak in like a thief in the
night. Sanguine, you should have used some lube.
But again, if you really want to come here legitimately, you don't come through a gap in the wall. You don't run across the border. You come in through a port of entry. You declare yourself, hey, I'm so and so and so and so, and these are my kids. We're trying to become citizens. What do I got to do? Like, who do I talk to? Not sneak in and then pray that the Democrats like, yeah, just come on in. We'll feed you.
I was talking to Quiz about that the other day. I don't understand why people are so accepting of illegal immigrants who are so quick to just, oh no, I just want to keep my head down and I'll take this job for lower pay under the table. I'll live 18 in a house. That's okay. And, I just
Adam,
they're okay with
Adam,
that, but they
slaves.
don't want. Well, I know I'm working around it, but they don't want the people who are coming in here being like, dude, I want to 100% be American. Like, there's what was it? You'll see like the ex-Chinese people who come in here and they're like, yeah, I just got my green card and I'm now an American citizen or whatever, and I love America. And it's like, yeah, I want people who actually want to build up the country. I never understood the people who are like, oh, those people are fleeing and their country is being devastated. They're fleeing. I'm like, okay, but those sound like the people who don't want to fight for their country. I don't want those people next to me.
They're fair weather friends.
Yeah, when our country is falling apart, I don't want them to be like, well, I'm going to leave this place too.
I'm going to go to Canada.
Yeah, well, what the fuck?
I want the people who desperately want to be American. Those are the people that I want to be Americans. And it goes back to the Teddy Roosevelt. I've referenced this I don't know how many fucking times.
I know, the hyphenated American.
The hyphenated American. It's to our national shame, to my mind, that Teddy Roosevelt lost the argument over the hyphenated American because he was spot fucking on. I don't give a shit what country of origin your ancestors or you came from. If you are an American, and what being an American means is you want to be American.
Hold on.
You came here to be American, not to be a Hispanic American, an Irish American, a French American, a Chinese American. No. You came here to be an American.
Well, this is where a lot of the Plato brains run into issues, is because now, again, the dynamic thought is not a purview for these people. So the concept of that means, okay, so you want them to erase everything of their heritage and all of their culture and become
No, their
and then
food's
what
delicious.
is
Give
well,
me
no, no,
your
no.
food.
No. And then and what is American? Like what culture is that? Blah blah blah. And it's like this is where you guys don't understand. And especially, but a lot of this was distorted incredibly after the Civil War, but moreover around after World War II.
Mm-hmm.
It was
where
more so between World War One and World War II.
Well, but it was more of a statehood, and you could see the culture in the American people, where it was really just a nuclear family. You had you go to job, you work, you provide for your family, you build it up, you build wealth, and that's what the culture was. But the idea was, but yeah, that family down the street, they like to cook Italian food, and those people down there, they celebrate this holiday, and those people over there. But at the end of the day, we all wanted a family. We all wanted a peaceful town. We all wanted to go to work and provide for everybody. Like that's what we wanted.
The concept of a potluck started because we are all bringing different dishes to a party.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh shit! You're bringing baklava. Sweet. I've never had that before, but now that Helen, that baklava you made the other day, from your culture. Could you make more of that? Yeah, you bring that.
Divine. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
again,
the husband looks forward to this certain wife's casserole, and then all of a sudden, he's fucking her after the party.
Or you got that's how cultures mingle. That's how things intermingle. Oh well, Johnny likes your Susie's baklava. Why don't we talk about getting Susie and Johnny together?
Well, and that's it would be like.
Where a lot of amazing cuisines also come out. I love a bunch of different types of food. I love a lot of Japanese dishes. Some of my favorite Japanese dishes are what Japanese... I can't remember the exact name, but it's effectively a Japanese word that specifically means the Japanese version of foreign dishes.
Makes sense.
They have a shit ton of dishes like that are dishes that someone in Japan had, and they went, this is fucking amazing. I bet I can make this so that it's more in line with my palate and with the palate of other Japanese people.
Or and with dishes, or with we don't have access to the ingredient for X, Y, and Z. I can't find it here. So let me use a substitute from where I can find it. Holy shit, I just created something brand new from something that was foreign.
Yep. Like, two of my, or I'll say 3 dishes that I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
One's more just an entire category of things. But one of them is Japanese croquettes.
Mm-hmm.
So, croquettes, they're French. Very fucking French. And croquettes are made out of mashed potato. Oftentimes they'll have like cheese or something like that stuffed in the middle. Then they're breaded and fried.
Mm-hmm.
They're delicious. That's what a Japanese croquette is. And like I said, very tasty. Japanese took this and went, ooh, what if we did this with... Oh, sorry, it's French and Italian. So it's a fusion dish in and of itself because it starts out French and Italian. Then that idea is taken by the Japanese, and the Japanese go, what if we do this with Japanese beef? And we make our own version. So they make a different sort of croquette. It is still made of potatoes. It is still filled with whatever the hell they want. Typically, the most traditional Japanese croquette, if you want to phrase it that way, is a either minced or chopped beef with sweetened onion that's kind of cooked down until it gets a little bit jammy, then mixed into this kind of chunky mashed potato, breaded up, deep fried, and they're served piping hot. And they're so fucking good. Oh, good God, yes. I love Japanese croquettes.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing. But that's a dish that someone from Japan had it somewhere in Europe. It was either France or Italy, because those are the two areas that kind of originated the croquette. Because you have the ham croquettes, which are ham or smoked ham, bechamel, parsley, seasoning, and then that's wrapped up in mashed potato, deep fried. You have potato croquettes stuffed with cheese. You have all kinds of stuff. They took that, they did their own thing. They're delicious. I love Japanese croquettes. Another one of the best sorts of bakeries that you can possibly imagine, and this isn't just Japanese because the Koreans do this as well, is when you have a Japanese French or Korean French bakery.
Okay.
The baked goods that those bastards will make, oh good God, I would slaughter an entire city if I knew that I would have a lifetime supply.
God damn it, Sanguine.
Yeah, man.
Tell us how you really feel.
It is amazing. Because they'll do weird shit with the baked goods. So they do all the normal stuff. So they'll do croissants and they'll do chocolate croissants and shit like that. But then they'll also do weird shit. One of my favorite things that I had when I was in Japan, and I've been able to find it a couple times at Japanese French, Viet French, and Korean French bakeries stateside, is a German sausage roll. So they take a really good German sausage.
Hold on. I want to read some of Mitch's chats.
Mm-hmm.
Abortion is death sentence by default, and there's no trial. That's just tyranny. Best way to be right all the time is to admit when you're wrong. That's the right thing to do. Hell, I want more Americans. If you want to come here and be American, welcome home. If you want to come here and be a Somali, an MS-13 gangster, the Taliban, etc., get out before we decide to come for you ourselves. A nation requires unifying principle. In the U.S., we look no further than the Bill of Rights. If that's too much to handle, then go split. Go spit. Baked goods? Now I want a Twinkie.
Yep. So the German rolls that they do, the German sausage rolls, are the very first time that I had them. It was a absolutely beautiful, plump German sausage with a good snap to the skin that they had scored, and they had grilled it perfectly. So it had a nice little bit of char on it. The skin had split just right. And it was juicy and just, yes. But then they did what is absolute goddamn black magic in the most amazing way. Because they took the lightest, fluffiest, most amazing, pillowy
Sanguine, do we need to let you be alone with this memory of food? I'm just asking.
They had this amazing bun dough that they make, and they took that bun dough, they layered it out, and then they hollowed out the center. They made a canoe of it before it was baked. They just made a canoe in the center of this bun, and they made a Japanese German potato salad. So, Japanese German potato salad is a potato salad that uses German flavors, but then does it in kind of the Japanese style. So, Japanese style potato salad is almost like a combination of mashed potatoes and potato salad. It's this interesting half mashed, half chunky.
Yeah, and if you want to go really crazy, you can add some Italian dressing and call it a full axis of delicious.
It sounds
that
tasty.
Would be interesting. But yeah, they do that, and then they do really strong German potato salad flavors. So it is very vinegar forward and very mustard forward. So they make that Japanese German potato salad, and then they fill that canoe that they made in the bun with that Japanese German potato salad, and then they lay the sausage over top of it, and then they bake that bastard so that the bun just kind of comes up and snags onto the sides of the sausage, holding the sausage perfectly in place and hiding the fact that there's this creamy, delicious, vinegary, mustardy potato salad right under fucking neath of the sausage. So it bakes up the bun.
Again, like I said, do you want some alone time? I mean, we can just step off the stream and you can just we won't judge you.
The bun bakes up and it has that. You know how when you have a really good, like, hot dog bun?
A nice handful of bun.
It has just that right amount of kind of crust on the outside.
Oh, no, she doesn't have a crusty bun.
And then it's that pillowy, soft goodness inside.
Yeah.
So you get that almost, not quite a crunch, but you get that slight resistance as you bite into the bun, and then your teeth go through, and then it's just, you're biting into a cloud.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? So
yes,
that bun that they made bakes up like that, despite there being fucking potato salad in the center of it.
Eat that potato salad.
You get that amazing bite of the bun. You get that meaty, nice bite to the sausage where it isn't mealy on the inside. It isn't squishy. It has that nice right amount of snap to the skin and then firmness to the actual sausage meat. So you bite into it. You get that snap of the skin from the sausage, the proper sausage meat texture. You get that slight resistance when you first bite into the bun, and then that pillowy goodness, and then you get the surprise mustard and vinegar German Japanese potato salad in the center, and it is just amazingly balanced. Every fucking element of that is done perfectly.
Sanguine, please stop talking about food because you're making me hungry, and I just had a salad.
Yeah, it is a beautiful thing. And that is something that would not exist had it not been for four fucking cultures
coming together.
Because you have the Japanese, who are the ones that took all the other elements and you decided we're going to make this into one fucking thing. You had the Germans, who made their version of potato salad, which is absolutely amazing. You had French bakery tradition, which French bakeries, they're amazing. I think that they pale in comparison to Japanese French, Korean French, and Vietnamese French bakeries just because, oh good God, those crazy Asian bastards. Fuck yes. But then you also have the fact that the potato is not native to Europe.
You're right.
So you have cultures from the Americas that cultivated the potato that then the Europeans went, you know what? This shit fucking slaps. We're stealing it. And they took it back and they started doing all kinds of insane shit with it. The Germans decided we're going to make a potato salad with this son of a bitch. We just came up with the idea. Here's potato salad. Fuck you.
Fuck off.
And then you have the Japanese, again, taking all these elements and going, we're making our own. And it's going to be amazing.
Shit. What? I mean, I'm not sure if this is true, but what about pancakes? Wasn't that originally crepes? And that fucked up, and now we have pancakes?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different potential origins of pancakes. Because you had the French made crepes, and they've been making crepes for an extended period of time. Then you have various versions of hot cakes that were made in different cultures. So, for example, you had early on ash cakes, which were, they would make these rudimentary doughs and they'd throw them just right in on the ashes after they started a fire. And they'd cook up and they'd sometimes have the nice flavor, sometimes they would just be sustenance, depending on the culture. And that was kind of done almost everywhere that had grain in the world. And then you had versions in the Americas of similar sorts of things where they were these kind of thick batters, thin doughs that would be made into something that you'd just kind of throw on a rock at a fire and you'd let it cook up on that hot rock.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of all of those things got mixed together and became the normal pancake. And then you had, again, people take the normal pancake idea and make it strange and interesting. So now you have shit like the souffle pancake.
What is a souffle pancake?
So, have you ever seen videos of really jiggly pancakes?
Yes. The Japanese fluff that look like clouds.
Yeah, so the souffle pancake. Here, let me pull up a souffle.
Wait a minute. Now Mitch says now I want a bacon. I want a mushroom teriyaki Swiss burger with sauteed red onions. What's a salad? And he goes, I remember McDonald's apple pies back when you could take a bite and they'd sear your soul. Good times.
Mm-hmm.
Pancakes. Hell no. Give me flapjacks. Give me corn fritters, damn it.
So souffle pancakes are these really strange, lovely, pillowy pancakes that all the ingredients are whipped up just right to make them insanely thick, but just they have...
be back, guys, and give me something to drink and a snack, because Sanguine will make me fucking hungry.
Yeah, they have a custardy or souffle-like texture, hence the name, souffle pancake. And it results in this rather pleasant mouthfeel that has, again, just that kind of surface crispiness, but then that pillowy interior. So this is what a souffle pancake looks like. They end up really tall and jiggly.
It's the way I like my woman.
Yeah, so
Wait, no.
It's like trying to think of... So, have you ever taken a pudding cup and upended it and then pulled off the cup so that the pudding's still sitting there?
Nope.
No? Okay. Have you ever had creme brulee? Oh, no, not creme brulee. Shit, what's the...
Like flan?
Yes, flan. Have you ever had flan?
Nope.
Have you ever seen flan?
Yeah.
So it's like flan.
Okay.
It kind of has that same jiggliness of flan, only it's a pancake. Huh. So it doesn't have the same texture as flan, but it is still soft and creamy almost, but it's a pillowy softness. And then it's typically served up with like a nice thick cream, whipped cream, clotted cream, berries, stuff like that. Maple syrup can be served with them. But it's kind of like someone went, pancakes are good because they get pillowy on the inside. What if we made them even more pillowy? So that you get more of that pillowy goodness?
Somebody was eating a pancake. Like, more pillow.
Yeah, exactly. So they're called souffle pancakes, and they're called souffle pancakes because the process of making them is somewhat similar to starting a souffle. And also kind of like souffles, if you fuck them up, they just fall flat. And it becomes kind of sad looking.
Mitch says real men don't eat quiche, and Cannibalistic would say I'll take the French toast from a local joint over those undercooked pancakes.
They aren't undercooked. They are perfectly well cooked. They have beautifully browned faces on the pancake. It's just that they're whipped so they stand tall the entire time. And because they stand tall, the side doesn't get that same sort of texture as a normal pancake does. But they're fully cooked, and they're delicious.
Count Blue said they made 7-pound cinnamon rolls and cut them up for the French toast, so you get about 7 by 12 by 1 inch thin piece of heaven.
Nice.
Also, I like a salad.
Hold on, how heavy a cinnamon roll?
It's about the same size as a standard piece of paper.
Yes.
Only then an inch thick. Because it's 1 inch shorter in one direction, 1 inch longer in the other.
And he said they turn it into French toast.
Yep.
Which is fucking awesome. I would eat that.
Mm-hmm. But when people go, oh, so they should just completely abandon their culture? No. We're America. We will take anything that's good from your culture and we will add it to our own because fuck yeah, that's how we do.
All right, so
anything that is worse in your culture, that's what you get rid of.
All right, so you know the concept of cultural appropriation and shit. That should always insult. I feel insulted when people say that. All right, human culture is give and take.
Mm-hmm.
We've taken things from other cultures, and we've also given things to other cultures. Hence the point, the food. Mm-hmm. You were talking about the sausage roll over there. Makes sense. Japan saw our sausage roll or German sausage roll and improved it. They took something from that culture to make their culture better.
Mm-hmm.
If we take something from Japanese culture, say anime, to make our culture better, just use that as an example. It's not theft. It's more. We see something we like as a culture, and we want to adopt it in. Wrangler jeans.
It's cultural homage.
Yeah, and then sometimes we'll alter it to make it more Americanized. Like they've altered the sausage roll to make it more Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Mitsubishi, the car manufacturer. Yeah, they're fucking American cars now. We've taken that's part of it's part of human nature. We see something we like, we take it. It's an innovation, we'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, things that are cultural appropriation, then motherfuckers need to stop taking vaccines. Yep. Because inoculations were created by a German.
Canada's the only one that's allowed to have insulin.
Yep. I guess we got those motherfuckers. I don't give two shits, but people that complain about cultural appropriation need to stop fucking speaking English.
Mm-hmm.
Or Spanish, because it's not Spanish.
Either.
No more computers. No more dishes and silverware because that's If you can only use things from your culture, motherfuckers be in mud huts.
Yep.
Because our style of building is kind of European.
Yep.
Just saying.
The real way of doing it is steal everything that is better, reject everything that's worse.
So my mom was a big music. Yep. So that the wheel gotta go.
Yep.
Can't use wheels. My mom used to say, I like a lot of rock and techno and shit like that, and I really don't care for rap and shit like that. And my mom used to tell me there is no such thing as white boy, black boy music. It's what you like and what you don't. That's the only way to classify music. You know, I've had I have a few playlists with humung, tubian, throat singing.
Yep.
Can't sing throat sing for shit, but I like the sound of it. It speaks to me.
See, I was half expecting you to say, rather than referencing that, say that you had the throat singing metal band.
Oh no, I don't have throat singing about
The Who.
Oh no. Shit, I got some Benedictine chanting.
Wait, you don't? I thought you had some Who.
I don't have any Who.
You need to get some Who. I think you would actually probably enjoy some Who.
Yeah.
I probably would enjoy some Who.
And that's HU for that. They are ridiculous. They're Mongolian folk metal.
Shit, there's some Appalachian songs that I like. O-Def.
Yep.
I love O-Def. You know, O-Def is fucking probably one of my favorite songs, and it's technically an Appalachian folk song.
Yep. And there's one thing that I think is fairly likely, just given how shit works out when it comes to when things start to originate, that is somewhat of a this is my pet theory rather than this is 100% what happened, but I have, I think, fairly solid rationale behind it.
Okay.
Which is that rap kind of exists because of the Vikings and the Celts.
War chanting.
Not that. So the Vikings had a tradition in Norse culture of flighting.
Okay.
Flighting is an insult battle.
Okay.
You would call the other person a bitch in as creative of a way as you possibly could. And
your mother sucked cow dick.
Yeah. You would call them a bitch in a way that would make everyone else laugh. And you would go back and forth until one of you either got pissed off enough that you couldn't continue, or was just absolutely beaten and couldn't come up with an insult that matched the previous insult.
Or you probably died laughing. Like, all right, you win.
So you had flighting, which was a spoken tradition in the traditionally Norse style.
Okay.
The Norse, during their conquests of a good chunk of Europe, they conquered Ireland, Scotland, parts of Wales. They conquered a bunch of places that were Celts. The Celts had traditions. The Celts, almost every group of Celts had something that was, these are insanely gifted people with music. And if you kill one of them, it's kind of like you killed a king. We're all going to fuck you up.
Oh, so the skulls.
Which kind of aligns with the skalds. So you had a similarity there, though the skalds, rather than song, they would typically do more poetry. Which then you had the skalds and the Welsh bards, and each of the different groups had their own names for him, but let's just use bard as the standard form of it. So you had them start interacting. So you probably had a shit ton, and there are some records where effectively you had flighting done in song form. So now you have an insult battle that is put to music.
Really quick, you want to see something that probably never happened?
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
It's there.
Yep, I see.
All right. Today at the post office, I met a man in a MAGA hat, totally unprovoked. He walked up to me, looked me in the eye, and said, "Your body, my choice. This isn't just happening online. This is why we are scared. X to fucking doubt.
Yeah, that never happened. That's someone who needs to put down the Handmaid's Tale and actually experience real life. But you had flighting that then became a musical competition where you didn't just call each other bitches, you called each other bitches in song.
Okay.
So that tradition kind of continued on down the generations where they continued just insulting people lyrically. It's rather amusing.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know what groups of people settled in the American South in large numbers?
Yeah, the Celts or Celtic ancestry.
Yep. And they tended to be of more the lower classes in the South.
That's where a lot of what is considered slang originated from.
Yep. And it's also, there's the theory that a lot of gang culture is really a kind of...
What'd you say? I couldn't hear you.
A lot of gang culture is kind of a tradition that originated with the Celts. Because
Makes sense.
they had their clan culture where they had a very bristly sense of pride. If you said the wrong shit to them, you're fucked. And if you say the wrong shit to gang members, you're fucked. So, you had the poorer people that were predominantly Celts interacting a lot with the slaves and the newly freed people in early Southern history. So their cultures kind of bled together in large part.
Especially with a shared, we were once serfs to a shitty, king. So
Commiseration over we got fucked over by larger powers.
yeah, so I can see them blending together and intermingling because hey, misery loves company, and we got a shared history or shared trauma.
You have a culture that has been engaging in lyrical insult battles for hundreds of years, kind of mixing and melding with this fledgling Black American culture. And what is a rap battle again exactly?
Just a lyrical insult contest.
Yeah, lyrical insult contest. So, to me, it seems fairly likely that there was, again, a crossover of, hey, this is kind of fun, this is kind of interesting, and we can kind of twist this with our own flavor to it.
Shit, do you know what calling the dozens are? It's essentially your mama jokes. Your mama's so fat. It's called calling the dozens. It sounds just like that as you speak to, your mama's so fat she on both sides of the family, and whoever can make somebody else laugh, the hardest wins.
Yep. So you have this tradition that ends up getting passed through culture after culture after culture, and each culture takes it and twists it. Because you have the Norse culture, which it is a spoken insult fight. Then you have the Goidelic Norse, which take that spoken and make it lyrical. And then you have that continue on in the form of lyrical insults, as well as when you're talking about lower class people within the UK. Have you ever heard of pikey callouts? So there's several different groups. One of them's the pikeys. One of them's the travelers. They're the English gypsies, or not English only, but they're the UK gypsies.
Hold on. Wait a second. Your mama's so fat, Goku lost the eating contest to her. Well, you know what, Campbell? Your mama so fat, when she climbed the stairway to heaven, bitch broke it.
So, you have the pikey and traveler callouts, which they're fucking hilarious. If you've never seen one, I recommend after stream, look up pikey or traveler call-out tape. Because this is something that is still ongoing to this day. The travelers, which is the politer term for them. By the way, did you know that you know what a tinkerer is, right?
Yes.
What is a tinkerer?
Someone that tinkers.
Do you know what the original meaning of that was?
Nope.
Gypsy.
Really?
Yeah. Tinkerers were a term that referred to gypsies because gypsies would typically be traveling around the countryside, and a lot of them ended up getting involved in tin crafting and a lot of minor fixing work. So they would fix pots, fix pans, fix various bits of tin. So they worked with tin. So start with tin. And also, as you're hammering metal, you get kind of a tink, 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 tink. So if you're working with tin especially, and you're working the metal with a hammer, and you're hearing that tink, 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 because they're cold working rather than hot working, well, that's a tinker. Tink, 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 tink. And then, well, the group that does tinkering are tinkerers. So, tinkerers. Yeah, it was a term that means gypsy. So, in old works of literature, if you hear about a tinkerer coming to town, it's a gypsy.
Oh, God. V's coming to town? Really?
Well, there's a bit of the Robin Hood story that involves Robin Hood going against a tinkerer. And there's part of that story that doesn't quite make sense unless you realize that tinkerer is kind of a slang / ancient slur for gypsies. Because Robin Hood mentions that a bunch of...
I learned something.
Yeah, you learn a new slur every so often. So
yes, you did.
Robin Hood in the Tinkerer mentions that he heard that a bunch of tinkerers were hung over in the next town over. And good riddance to them.
So he heard that a bunch of gypsies were hung, and good riddance to them.
Yeah, he was trying to piss off the tinker.
Okay.
So, in order to piss off the tinkerer, he referenced a group of other gypsies getting killed in the next town over. And it successfully riled up the gypsy. They fought. Robin Hood gained respect for him. The gypsy gained respect for Robin Hood. Robin Hood said, "Sorry, I just need to get you pissed off enough that you'd be willing to fight me. This was fun. Do you want to join?"
Again, that's fucking wow.
Yeah. It's one of those kind of weird but fun stories, but it's a story that doesn't make as much sense unless you know that tinker was a term for gypsies. Because why the fuck did the town over hang 3 tinsmiths? What? Why are they just killing people that work with tin? What the fuck is going on?
They kept selling pots that had holes in them.
Yeah. They kept selling sieves and calling them pots.
Yep. But yeah, if you were a non-traveling tinsmith, then you would be called a tinsmith, or is tin whitesmithing? I think it's whitesmithing. Is the other term for tinsmith. And then it's finesmith for silver.
What's a goldsmith?
I think finesmith is silver and gold, but there might be another term for goldsmith as well, other than just goldsmith. But yeah, tinsmith is a whitesmith.
Yeah, smiths work with gold, silver, I guess it's platinum and other valuable metals.
Yeah. Finesmith is precious metal working. And then you have whitesmithing, you have blacksmithing, you have is it brownsmithing? I want to say it's brownsmithing.
Huh.
Which is copperwork.
Yep, whitesmithing is synonymous with tinsmith.
Yep.
And I guess the coppersmith because of copper is brown. Oh.
Yeah, it ends up brownish. Though I think that, let me quickly double check before I say this out loud. Because I think there's another. Yep, there's two terms for coppersmith. You can end up with brownsmith or greensmith.
Depending on the level of impurity.
Well, no, it's just two terms. They originated separate. So
yeah, wait a minute. Coppersmith or brasser is a person that works that makes artifacts from copper and brass. Brass alloy, copper, and zinc. The term redsmith is used for a tinsmith that uses tinsmithy tools and techniques to make copper items.
Yep. So yeah,
there are a lot of colored smiths.
Honestly, I think it's all racist. They shouldn't be calling it whitesmith and brownsmith. I mean,
we're all smiths here.
But yeah, you have redsmith, greensmith, and brownsmith all refer to coppersmiths.
I learned something new.
And then, like I said, you have whitesmith, which is tin, finesmith, which is any precious metal, and blacksmith, which is iron and steel. And part of the reason for it going blacksmith for iron and steel versus whitesmith for copper, or sorry, for tin, is when you're smithing with tin, typically you aren't really hot smithing, you're cold smithing.
Now I'm going to look this up. What are the various names for the different types of smithing? I've never knew that. That honestly is something I never knew.
Yeah. I know a lot of obscure things when it comes to shit like that.
But you got a Peter Schmidt, hot Peter Schmidt.
Yep. Yeah, Pewtersmiths deal with leaded silver.
You got a John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
His name was my name too. I got a question for you, Sanguine. I'm pretty sure you would know it. All right. There was a farmer that had a dog, and Bingo was his name-o. Bingo, and Bingo was his name-o. What's the name of the farmer?
Old MacDonald Had a Farm is a different song.
Yeah, so what's the name of the farmer? The song said that there was a farmer that had a dog, and Bingo was his name-o, right? The dog's name is Bingo. But what is the farmer's name? Who is the farmer?
I'm not sure. Is it still Old MacDonald?
I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't. The song literally says the dog's name was Bingo, and that's the only name given in the song. But the farmer should have had a name, and who is the farmer? Like, is it Old MacDonald?
I think it is Old MacDonald, especially since aren't they to the same tune?
Old MacDonald had a farm, and on that farm he had. I think it is the same damn tune.
I think it's Old MacDonald.
It's like it starts the same, but Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah, E-I-E-I-O, B-I-N-G-O.
Yeah,
It is the fucking same song. It's the same tune. The farmer's name is fucking he owns the dog. Cause it lists E-I-E-I-O.
What's the beginning of the bingo song?
There was a farmer had a dog and bingo was his name. Oh, B-I-N-G-O, 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 and bingo was his name. Oh,
There's
E-I-E-I-O.
similar.
It's similar enough that it makes sense that Old McDonald is the farmer's name. So Old McDonald owns the dog Bingo.
I'm going to say that Old MacDonald was Bingo's owner.
Sure.
I mean, again, the song never gives the name of the farmer. You know, I was just curious. I thought you would know the name of that.
It's headcanon now.
Yes, the
Get
Old
out the
McDonald
red
owns
tape and mark it.
it is means Lord that Old McDonald owns Bingo.
So shall it be written?
So shall it be done. Let me ask ChatGPT, see what she says. In the song Bingo, what is the name of the farmer that owns Bingo?
Yeah, I'm going to say it is Old MacDonald. Because it makes
Norm
sense.
MacDonald.
If it was Norm MacDonald, that'd be an entirely different farm.
No, McDonald had had a dog and Bingo was his name. Nope, ChatGPT doesn't know. Yeah. I like the notion that Old McDonald owns the dog Bingo.
Yeah.
Okay. Faulty. Wait a minute. What's that called, Mitch? Faulty. Soliloquism. I don't know.
Syllogism.
Syllogism. What is that? Is a kind of logic argument that implies
Syllogism
deductive reasoning to arrive at a conclusion based on two or more propositions that asserted or assumed to be true.
Yeah, it's when you are claiming to use logic and it sounds true on the face of it, but when you think about it more, you're going, that doesn't quite necessarily track, does it?
Wait a minute. So, give me an example of a classical the word example from Aristotle. All men are mortal. Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates is mortal.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, all mammals are warm-blooded. Bats are mammals, therefore bats are warm-blooded. Oh, so it's like all wicks are snitch. So, and all licks are wicks, but not all slicks are wicks. The logic word. Yeah. Oh. If I work hard and the weather permits, I will finish painting the fence before lunch. If A is true, if it says if A is true and B is true, then C is true. The logical pattern. I still like the concept that Bingo is Bingo the name of the Old McDonald owns Bingo.
Yeah. It sounds good, so I like it, and I'm going to say that
Yes.
Old MacDonald owned Bingo.
Well, I guess it's canon now.
Yeah.
Yep. It's canon to the minions.
Now we need to figure out Old MacDonald's relation to the Gremlin Granny.
Oh no. I think that Old McDonald is related to the old lady that lived in the shoe.
But that doesn't connect him to Minion lore enough. We need to figure out how Old MacDonald relates to Gremlin Granny. Was Old MacDonald an old adversary of Gremlin Granny? Or a byproduct of Gremlin Granny?
I'll say he was an old adversary. And Bingo was protecting the Arya with the song, so she couldn't figure it out, you know. She had to sing the entire song because you know how Fae are.
Yep.
Huh. Better example
are ex-lover.
You're going for ex-lover?
Yeah, Gremlin Granny is deeply upset.
Wait, is that Gremlin Granny's origin story? Is that why she goes after children's fingers and toes?
Yeah, because she's upset that old
Jilted
MacDonald went with the lady in the shoe. And the lady in the shoe has a shit ton of kids, and so that's why Gremlin Granny
hates kids.
Yeah, that's why she doesn't like kids.
Goes after their fingers and toes. See, it all comes together.
See, there it is.
Hold on, and you know what? Flies like to be around sticky things, and feet get stinky. Sticky shoes.
So she turns their fingers and toes into flies so that they will spy on the shoe.
A spy on his new lover.
Yeah.
So she's trying to be sneaky and not, you know, oh yeah, I'm going to get that bitch. You want to that house?
If it's gonna, I mean, she uses it for other reasons as well, but
like watching you poo on an island.
Yeah. But you know, she has her main tasks at hand. Every now and then she whips out that picture of the old MacDonald with his dog Bingo. And you know, she's like, yeah, this is what I'm doing this for. Bring me more fingers.
She looks at it lovingly, and you know, she rubs it. I'm the one that gave him Bingo.
Yep.
And that's why she's stealing wood. She's trying to attract Bingo. Everyone knows dogs love chasing sticks.
There it is. We figured it out. We know how to kill her.
Well, we knew that already. It's the mace of the Midwest Minions.
We know how to defeat. We know her origin story. We can overcome her. We can reason with her.
Yes. Now we can offer Tyr as a replacement for Old MacDonald.
Yep.
What the fuck? She doesn't want me. I'm dying. Look, do you see my avatar? I'm held together by duct tape and prayer.
Doesn't matter. All she's looking for is a bone.
Come on, man. You gotta take one for the team.
The hell?
Well, given the context, it's more you have to give one for the team.
I know it's bone to give her to. She'll be fine. Are you my streaming companion has entered the room and is demanding my attention.
Ooh.
My cat. See, I can't. That's why I can't go with Gremlin Granny. I have a cat. You know, they're right reverse the dogs.
Well, no, that's perfect because now it's an entire break from her obsession with Old MacDonald.
I don't. My name doesn't lend very well to a song, you know.
Yeah, but we already decided that the songs were meant to keep her away. They're talking about how happy his life is without her. They're meant to wound her.
So what y'all gonna do? Trap me up like a fucking stuffed pig with a cat, and you gonna just toss me over to her?
Potentially.
The hell? I'm be sleeping in my coffin. I'm be doing this like, what the fuck? Why that movie? Why can't I get the hell out of my own coffin? Shut up, Tyr. You're doing this for the minions. You want to be one of us? You gotta take one for the team. Ah, damn it.
Going to go meet one of the Fae.
I'm a lich. I don't wanna. I'm happy not study. I'm happy living my life and study. Wait a minute. Old McDonald was a farmer who sowed seeds. The lady who, in a shoe, had fields sown. Do you think a single mother could feed so many kids? Because Farm McDonald worked 2 fields to feed them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
Not only that, but he plowed her fields several times.
And remember back then they needed large family because who better to work the fields than your kids
Yeah.
and take care, do chores. So you had large families.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. That's why she had so many kids. She didn't know what to do because the farmer was always working. He was bored.
Yeah.
Man, we've discovered some deep lore.
Yeah.
Here we are. I got to put this on the board with the string and everything. Got the beautiful mind this shit.
Exactly.
All right, my streaming companion has decided that she doesn't want to be pet anymore. She's gone away.
That is the way that cats work.
Yeah, they are fickle creatures. But yes, Mitch says a better example are nuns or women. Women have babies all the time. Nuns have babies all the time. For the faulty
Syllogism.
Syllogism. Ugh. Did you get some syllogism on you?
Well, no, because you weren't fucking the farmer. That's how you get syllogisms.
All right, we know. So how did that fit into old Mother Hubbard, who lived in the cupboard? Is that Gremlin Granny's real name?
Yeah. She was living in the cupboard of the shoe to spy on them.
That's why she's taking fingers and toes.
She lived in the walls.
Man, this deep lore here. Ah, man, okay, all right. Do you know the old saying, I knew a lady who swallowed a fly?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the old lady that lived in the shoe. After her kids left, she didn't know what to do. So she fucking swallowed a fly.
Accidentally, because it was one of her kids' fingers.
Uh-huh. And then she swallowed she went to her husband's farm, who kept swallowing shit to keep it down, to try to get the fly out. And then she died.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Gremlin Granny assassinated the old woman in the shoe. After biting off one of her children's fingers. It all makes sense now.
Damn. That woman's sick. She lived in their cupboards. Oh, God. This is one crazy bitch. We need to save that lady.
Biting off their fingers and toes, spitting out flies to kill their mother.
Making the mother eat the farmer's livestock.
And still, old MacDonald had no eyes for her.
Man, jealousy is a bitch.
Yeah. She went complete Yandere.
Yep. Oh man, that's just fucking crazy. Yeah. But how did all right? So she gave him Bingo to win his heart. The talking dog with a funny name. Made a song for him. He left her for the old lady lived in the shoe. She lived in their cupboards.
Yeah,
and then
the song was made after because Bingo was meant to try to keep her away, and she was only able to get into the cupboards after Bingo died.
Makes sense. That's why she gave the fly. Okay. She was stalking him, living in their cupboard. Then one day when he was gone, she sent the fly that went down her throat.
Yep.
And then she started eating the farmer's livestock, trying to get the fly out. She died. Farmer went broke. He died. She's still living in their cupboards.
Yeah.
It sounds like a sick murder, double homicide plot.
Yeah.
Bitch is crazy.
Well, she is Gremlin Granny.
Oh, God. And you motherfucker trying to sacrifice me to her?
Well, it's not like you're going to die again.
I don't know what sick shit she has planned for me. Have you seen the audition?
Just because you might want to doesn't mean that you will die.
Thank God I've hid my phylactery in a very safe place. I gave it to Kefki. She buried it somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I'll find it one day. Remember saying, if you want something to hit, you give it to Kefki. She'll hide it from herself, too.
See, I just had like 12 absolutely horrific items that could be the container of the phylactery pop into my mind.
She probably, you know what? It's probably somewhere near her cheesy poofs. Huh. He hid it in her stash of candy corn.
See, I'm just thinking the most insulting places that you could hide a phylactery for
Where?
a witch. Marital aid.
Oh, goddamn! My soul container is being used. Honey, why is it glowing? It's okay.
Just because your soul's no longer in you doesn't mean it won't be inside someone else.
I died before Lily White's in somebody. Oh God, worst reformation ever.
That would be a weird fucking backstory for a lich. A lich was such a nerd that they made themselves a lich before they had ever found someone, but then their phylactery became a marital aid, so their soul was in someone before they ever were.
Your soul fucked my wife, man. I didn't tell you to shove it in her. Hide the phylactery under car tires. No! Hide my phylactery there.
Your phylactery is about to get a necklacing.
Oh.
You know what a necklacing is, right?
No.
It's something that's done in Africa.
Oh, God.
You take a car tire.
Uh-huh.
You fill part of the car tire with some gasoline.
Uh-huh.
And then you put it around someone's neck.
No.
And then you ignite the gasoline.
What the fuck? Is this a torture device?
Yeah, it's a torturous means of execution.
So the rubber on the tire heats up and sears the flesh.
Heats up, melts, and it also lights on fire. So you're left with, if you survive the initial combustion and survive long enough for it to reach the point where the tire starts burning, you're covered in a sticky, burning hot, melted tire.
So essentially covering somebody in burning tar.
Yeah. But you're giving them just enough time to realize what the fuck's going to happen to them before you do.
I think the worst method of execution I ever heard of is braising bull.
That one's bad. Also, the Blood Eagle.
Blood Eagle's fucking bad. But braising, you're cooked alive, and your screams, the screams and the steam escaping makes it sound like a fucking bull skull.
Yep.
It's fucking weird. It's scary as fuck.
Also, there's Adam. Do you remember the name of it? The one that was done to the Roman. They stuck him in between two rowboats.
Keel hauling.
No, the keel hauling is when you drag them underneath the ships. Bro. There's one where a guy had, I think it was a Roman, betrayed the group that he was a part of. So they got two rowboats, not two ships, two rowboats. They stuck a mouth to mouth with him bound so that his arms were stretched out to the side and his feet were splayed.
Scaphism?
Yes, I believe that's the one where they then force-fed him honey until his stomach ruptured and left him to insects.
Yeah, it sounds like mullification. Described as victim being trapped between two small boats, one inverted on top of the other, with limbs and head sticking out, feeding them and smearing them in milk and honey, and allowing them to fester and be devoured by insects and other vermin over time. Plutarch's report originates from the source, considers this dubious.
That's the exact one I was thinking of.
But it sounds like mullification.
Nah, mummification, you're typically dead.
No, mullification.
Oh, mullification. Sorry, I heard mummification. I'm going, you're typically dead. You could try to do it on someone who's alive, but that would fucking suck. You wouldn't be alive for long. Once that thing goes up your nose and scrambles your brain, you're kind of fucked.
You're kind of fucked, yeah. But, like, where you like just consume vast amounts of honey and then submerge yourself in honey.
Yep.
And you're essentially turned into sugar.
Yep.
And you die of diabetic shock.
And it can also be used to preserve a corpse because I think it was Lenin was preserved in honey. It was either Lenin or Stalin. It was one of those two.
Yeah, that's just a horrible way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, Tibetan monks would drink fucking lacquer and like self-mummification.
Yeah, trying to do the living mummification.
Yeah. That seems just like creative. I don't want to do that.
It is very creative. It's not the sort of creativity that you want to encourage, but it is very creative.
Yes. Mummification. Yes.
But as I was saying earlier on, and then we went off on tangents.
As we do.
I know that you saw it, but Adam, did you see the people that are various rather far left talking heads absolutely losing their mind about the fact that their subscribership and viewership has plummeted since the election?
Yes, I have.
Talking about how, see, this is people trying to get rid of us. They're trying to make us shut up. They're trying to get everyone to leave us, rather than realizing, no, it's because you were telling everyone that this is 100% what's going to happen, and that if you're wrong, it just means that your side's going to win by even more than you're saying they will. And you've been saying this for years, and they realized, oh, they're just idiots. Why am I paying him?
Again, all the signs were there. The portents. If you read the tea leaves, you would have. you would have seen the signs. If you'd have checked the intestines, if you watched the headless chicken run around in circles and see where it landed, you would understand this shit was forthcoming. You when Kamala started pushing celebrities endorsements, when people only come to her rallies for a free concert, essentially, and then people got pissed instead of being there to listen to her speak. They got pissed that Beyonce up and fucking left. You weren't winning you weren't winning the argument. People were there for your endorsement. The people that oh well, yeah, Beyonce's gonna be here, so we're gonna come. Yeah, fuck yeah, Beyonce's gonna throw down like Cardi B did.
And when the one interview that you decide to do that isn't just them trying to suck you off, your staff rage quits on your behalf.
No, I got one better for you. Your first interview, you had to bring your emotional support Tim. You don't. Again, we said this earlier. If she'd have came out and was like, the entire time, yes, when he was there, I was trying to get him to step down. I didn't want to force his hand because he's my friend. I wanted to get him to do it of his own volition. And I was totally against them forcing him out the way they did. And had we had more time to properly have a proper primary, I don't think I'd have got it. But I'd have been more accepting. And maybe that's my failing because I was looking at a friend deteriorating and I didn't want to see it. But be that as it may, I'm what's here right now, and give policy that isn't just Trump fucking bad, Orange Man bad.
Well, give policy that isn't either Trump bad or, you know what, that thing Trump just said sounds really
fucking good.
I'm gonna steal it.
And when you have a debate, the one and only debate, which you fucking clearly lost. Now, I'm going to say this. Trump didn't win. She didn't win either. Trump didn't win either. But he held his own, and that's all he fucking needed to do. It was a 3-on-1. It wasn't a 3-on-1. It was a 2v1, and Kamala was just there staring.
And again, the thing that drove me crazy was after that one debate, there was we need to stop fact-checking Democrats. First off, fuck you. What the hell do you mean? And second off, you didn't fact-check her for 90%. She said like one thing that people went, well, actually, that's incorrect.
And then for the rest of it, she stared and gave googly eyes like she was trying to find her lover, while the other two attacked.
The thing is that she had said multiple things that are flat out wrong. There were some that people did finally come out and correct, but she was constantly spewing things. She did the same bullshit line of, well, he said that Nazis were very fine people. No, he said that there were fine people on both sides of the debate over whether the statue should be taken down or left up. And then he explicitly said, and I'm not talking about the Nazis. They should be condemned totally. She said that she made one economic claim, which is the one that was fact-checked, that people went, well, no, that's not right. The only other things that were fact-checked with her weren't fact-checked and then made news of. There was one which I was rather happy to see, which was I can't remember which of the fact-checkers it was, but it was related to the claim that he had never condemned fascists and white supremacists. and it was a fact check through one of the major fact checking sites, going, well, here's a chronological order of most, but not all of the times that he directly called out these ideologies.
But you know what gets me?
Was like an 18-page document.
But you know what gets me though? Trump had to every other avenue of attack was Trump's races.
Yep.
And you had Mike Tyson. You heard the story about Mike Tyson, right?
I'm not sure I did.
So when Mike Tyson was going under for that rape shit, everybody turned their back on him
except for Trump. Yep.
And he said, I will never talk bad about Trump. Because the one time when I really needed a friend, when the rest of the world was turning their back on me, he stood by me. Mm-hmm. He stood with me, you know? And then you got people like Judge Joe Brand talking about how in the 80s people would say you wanted financing for a business or something, you'd go to Donald Trump, ask for a loan. He'd give you to you, and he'd tell you have this money by this date with this amount of interest. And you'd go to him with this money by this date, and he goes, so this is the money you owe me? Yeah. This is the interest? Yeah. How's your business doing? Well. And he'd tear it up. Congratulations. And then you got the story of him, he won like a Black Excellence Award, maybe early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Dated a black woman, you know. He was infamous. Like people said, they want to be Trump, and then you gotta remember there are pictures of him and Whoopi were good friends at one point before he ran for president.
Yep.
And then you have the only woman he actually called fat and lazy or a bitch was Rosie O'Donnell after they started beefing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and back
Rosie was not a light woman. So him calling a fat woman
is fucking true. But it gets even better.
Accurate assessment.
It gets even better though. The feud, people kind of sided with him. You know, she stayed in her fucking lane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's when Rosie was on the outside of Hollywood when she was. And then when he became persona non grata, she got her second win. Well, I was fighting with Trump back in, this point in time. Yeah, I knew he was racist.
Mm-hmm.
There are pictures with him and Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. You know what? I got one bet for you. Guess who funded Jesse Jackson's bid for presidency when he ran?
Trump.
Yep. So all these facts are omitted. But somehow you're telling me he's a racist when his track record, somebody claimed that his father didn't allow blacks in one of his venues. Okay, that was his father.
Oh, the thing that really pissed me off was they used the fact that he was part of a country club that historically hadn't allowed blacks and Jews.
Until he sued to get him in.
And they use that as, he joined this group that didn't allow blacks and Jews, so he's a racist. And yeah, you just said what was the actual thing that happened, which was Trump strong-armed the country club into admitting blacks and Jews.
I got one better for you. The Epstein ship. He flew on Epstein's plane once and with a flight to New York.
Yep.
He had a very public falling out with Epstein, and when Epstein was being indicted, the only one to cooperate with federal law enforcement was Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead.
The thing that really pissed me off about he was real buddy with Epstein, so clearly he was doing all this stuff, is there was the news story mid his presidency where someone came out saying that they were one of Epstein's victims,
And they said they never heard of him.
Gave an account where they didn't name the person that they were talking about. But
and everybody assumed it was Trump.
An account of them having been molested. The news organization came out and said, story comes out about Trump having molested one of Epstein's victims. That victim then had to come out again to a different newspaper, give evidence that she was the one that had come out the first time to go, not only did he not do that, he wasn't the person that I was talking about. The person that helped get me out of it
was him.
And this happened when they had their falling out. It was the genesis of their falling out because he realized that there was something strange going on. He realized something was wrong with me. He asked me if I was okay. I originally said yes. He asked me again, no, really, is everything okay? And I told him that I was in trouble and that I needed help. And he got me out of there. And then when he was confronted about where did you take her? Why did you let her out? He kicked the fucker out of his building.
Yeah. And then some dumb bimbo broad comes out of nowhere. Oh yeah, Donald Trump, grabbed me by the pussy, when I was dating Jeffrey Epstein at the time and went over to see Donald Trump, he grabbed me by the pussy. You wait. Trump's been president umpteen years. You come out like the October surprise, essentially, and say this shit, extra fucking doubt at this point. If you'd have came out years before, okay, I could give some credence. But you wait till now to say about this shit?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you didn't know Trump was president. It's kind of hard to fucking miss that fact.
Mm-hmm.
It's shit like that. It is the selective editing of history to make this man seem more sexist and racist than he is. And then if you look at Kamala and Biden, they give passes to their racism. Racial jungle.
Mm-hmm.
The author of the crime bill. And Kamala was locking up black people. It's all good. Laughing and joking about her smoking pot and listening to Tupac when he was fucking 15 in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fucking literally impossible for you to listen to Tupac smoking weed in your dorm when Tupac didn't have a fucking album out and he was in New York at the time.
Oh yeah, I found it absolutely hilarious when she did that and her father came out and went, I have no clue what this bitch is saying. This timeline doesn't line up. When your own father goes out of his way to go, yeah, my daughter.
Yeah, this is fucking loud. And another thing, I know it sounds like I'm bragging on bitch because I am. Another thing is, all right, you were raised by Indian mother. You say you celebrate Kwanzaa, right? When Kwanzaa wasn't a widespread holiday, and you were in fucking Canada at the time. Around the time that the civil rights movement was going on, again, you were in fucking Canada. Wait a minute, no, you wouldn't even have been alive when that shit was going on. Yeah, she's one of my mother's contemporaries. She's what, 60s?
Mm-hmm.
So it's fucking damn near impossible for her to yeah. I just thought of that. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, shit doesn't line up with a lot of her stories. It's just like shit didn't line up with a lot of Biden's stories. And it wasn't just because Biden was, well, having his brain melt. It was 68. Biden's stories haven't lined up for decades because Biden likes telling stories. I'll phrase it that way. He never lets the truth get in the way of a good story.
Yeah. All right.
So-
He died. He died in 60. She was born in 64. He died in 68. There is fucking no way because remember her family were in Canada when she was a young lady. So how the again, Biden, they're fucking perfect for each other. She's a lying bitch about her history, and then she is what is that word? Schrodinger's race.
Yep.
She's Indian one minute and black the next.
Oh, it's kind of like Tiger Woods with that. Because Tiger Woods, when he was losing golf tournaments, he was Asian.
When he was winning, he was black.
The moment that he started winning, he's black now. Yeah, and that was constantly being used. And she was the same way, where when people didn't like her, and they were of certain political mindsets, well, she's Asian. When people did like her, well, she's black.
And that's another thing that I always I will argue to no end. The word black in this context is a homograph. Is a single word with two different meanings. She is a black woman. Phenotype. Her skin is brown. She would classify as a black quote unquote woman. However, she is not a black woman. She is not culturally black. But she's culturally Indian. I remember listening to one of her a clip from one of her speeches, one of her last rallies. She said "Happy Diwali." I don't remember Diwali being a black holiday. There's no black people that celebrate Diwali.
Nope.
So that sounds Hindu-y to me. Hindu. You even proved that you were Hindu when you said you were at the wrong rally. Maybe because your gods, you have multiple gods. Because again, you're Hindu. See, just asking.
The thing that I have a problem with is the pandering, because it's one thing if it was just other people going, well, she's black. She's going to be the first black president. She is this, she's that. Oh my God, isn't she amazing? She's doing all of this while black. If it was just other people doing that, then it would be, okay, yeah, those people are stupid. But it was the fact that she was actively pandering to it, and she was attempting to do accents in order to pander to it.
Oh God!
She came off. I think the accents really did her in.
She came off bigger than fucking. Oh God! The collard green incident. Who the? All right, Sanguine. I can very vividly remember sitting in my front. Sitting in the living room of my house as a child, picking my mother planning to make collard greens, picking the leaves, taking out the vines and shit, right?
Yep.
Putting them in a bag so she can wash them in the sink. My mother used to would get a shit ton. She would go to the farmer's market and she would get a shit ton of those greens. She has never, in the years that she's made this dish, never washed them in the tub. Now she may have put did them bundle by bundle, like she would put like some of them in there if she had too many to fit in one sink. She would wash those group, pull it out, put it in a dish, and then wash another. Never in the years I've seen her make it, the years I can very vividly remember her making this dish, did she ever put it in the tub.
Yep.
That was some pandery bullshit.
Yep.
the smoking weed with listening to Tupac, paying to read bullshit.
Yep.
Just like Clinton and would you keep in your purse? Hot sauce.
Hot sauce.
No, the fuck you don't. There's no fucking way you keep hot sauce. You said that because that's like a common thing, and no fucking black person in reality keeps hot sauce in their fucking purse or in their bag, unless
and if they do, they don't say it that fucking way. You
yes,
freak alien motherfucker.
yes,
Because that's the thing that gives them away every time. Because, okay, I could believe that someone might decide that they're making so many collard greens that fuck it, I'm just going to use the bathtub. I can kind of believe that someone might be in a mindset to do that. But no person that makes collard greens calls collard greens the same way that Kamala did.
collards.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm gonna make collard greens. No, no one says it.
The carrying
Hey, yo, Jan.
The carrying hot sauce. I think that was from the movie Selena.
I think so too.
Yeah.
There was a part in the movie where the guy like pulls out hot sauce and he's like, I carry it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But see, again, if say I'm going to a restaurant, 9 times out of 10 they have hot sauce. And only time I'm carrying hot sauce, quote unquote, in a bag is if I'm going to go, I'm at work and I want hot sauce. But even then, I work around other people and there's condiments there.
Yeah, no, yeah, and or like you're going to a picnic or a campsite or something like that's. No rational person carries fucking. And she pull out like a bottle of hot, like a little bottle of Tabasco.
Yeah.
Like really, that's brand new, probably never been opened.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's the way that they say things that gives them away. Because, like I said, no one who actually loves collard greens and eats collards says it the way that she did. She tried to do an accent. It failed miserably.
Wait a minute, I got one back for you. Wait. All right. Do you remember, like, I'm in the airport walking with these 2 big bags of collard greens, and I'm thinking, no, the fuck you're not. There's no fucking way you're walking through the air. No fucking way. Oh, well, I can't get them like I like them. No, bitch. When you get collard greens, they're generally the fucking same, no matter where you get them from. It's how you prepare them.
Yep.
So you wouldn't be walking through the airport because you can't get the ones you like. They're all the fucking same.
Mm-hmm. And then she did the photo op of her carrying collards through the fucking airport, which that was dumb as shit as well. But the same thing with, well, what do you carry in your bag? Hot sauce! No one says hot sauce like that.
Shit, her saying she worked at McDonald's, which she should have. This is, I'm going to repeat this. Do you know what Sarah Silverman? Do you remember when Sarah Silverman was talking about this particular club and how she was paid like she wasn't paid as much as the guys that were performing there, and then the owner came out like, no, I remember you. You weren't even up and coming. You begged me to let you on. Mm-hmm. I gave you cab fare because I felt sorry for you. Not that her next line wasn't, I misremembered the situation, or maybe my memory is fuzzy of the situation and I misremembered some things. No, her line was,
come out and say
no. She said, I should have made it a faceless bar. I should never gave it a name. I should never. Not that I lied. I misremembered. Oh shit, my bad. I must have fucking forgot. No, I should have made it a faceless bar. I shouldn't have said it. And that's what Kamala should have did. By saying that she worked at a McDonald's, it put a face on it, and people could fact check it. If she just said, "Oh, I worked in this little hole in the wall that probably never, she just picked some random pizza joint. Oh, it's probably no longer there. It was on this corner," and people probably couldn't fact check that shit. She aimed too high.
Well, okay.
Well, the
First, she did put her face on it. Apparently, she put her.
Yeah, face on
Somebody
a dead
put her,
woman.
yeah, on a white lady. Um, but the other thing is, the reason they chose McDonald's is because McDonald's is one of the most well-known fast food chains in America. So it's, yes, I worked at the Everyday Man fast food restaurant.
Again, she
You
could have
could have
said,
done something, off the boot, but again, they were probably thinking nobody's going to look into it, and there's so many McDonald's, and you will never find it in time, because again, they were rushing for it. I mean, she only had 100 or so days to be able to persuade the people, and she didn't. They didn't. The Ordos didn't.
they also have no problem hiring foreigners. Yeah. So again, she when she, like I said, she should have aimed. Oh, it just. I remember Mr. Spinelli's, pizzeria, and it's. I worked there making flipping burgers and making pizzas and whatnot. And again, because it's so small, it's a little hole in the wall. Mrs. Spinelli's probably fucking long dead. Business is probably fucking shuttered. Anybody that can fact check her ass probably doesn't remember enough. You
But
know?
yeah, it was. I still say that what they ended up doing, or what Sarah Silverman ended up doing by saying
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have named the place, was a how dare you challenge the narrative. The
Yeah.
narrative is more important than whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
That's what she meant when she was saying I should have kept the name hidden. I shouldn't have said the name. I should have just been vague about it. It was
Yeah.
the narrative is more important than the truth. Fuck you.
And then Tim fucking Walls. I'm friends with school shooters.
Yep.
Oh shit! 2 hours. How long
Uh-oh.
you guys looking to
Oh
run?
shit! I just looked at the time.
Oh, god damn it.
We are running over time. We can do our parting words and head out if you guys want.
You can do parting words. I mean, if I haven't got to be asleep, I ain't got to be to work till 12 tomorrow. Um, I'll go first if that's the case. Sanguine's hungry. Feed Sanguine. Don't let him eat you.
Eat Sanguine's feet?
No, it
I
was Sanguine's hungry. Feed Sanguine. Don't let him eat you. I will go Donner Party if I get too hungry.
see. Don't let me eat you.
Well, I mean, I still want to get some food after all the delicious food talk at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, yeah. Hope everybody enjoyed, and yeah.
I'll leave off with bravery is when you're the only person that knows that you're scared shitless. And with that, have a good night, all. The zoo is closed. This is when you say good night, people.
Good night, people.
And I click this, and it takes a second.